because everybody's a Wojak, bruv. Non-ZO for 10 says, can you look at Colt Dow? Oh, I was looking at Colt Dow this morning, Anon. That's going to be another millionaire coin. It makes me so mad. This is going to be another millionaire coin. This was a beautiful coin, man. 16K is going to be, what, 700,000? Yeah. Yeah. This is bullish. You can see from the low to the high, it hit the 618, and now it's going up. Yeah, but bro, my biggest holding looks exactly like this. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, oh man. Dude, I have a chance, Anon. I've just got to hold strong. But I would say it's bullish, Anon. From the high to the low, you can see the 382 is coming up at 7. So once it gets over 7, I would say let it ride. Yeah. The bull run will be confirmed. You can see the downtrend is actually broken. So your last resistance is 75 before it goes parabolic. If it ends up pulling back, I would say from the low to the high, you got to stay over the 382, which is 39.5. If it falls below 39.5, it's going to 0. If not, then 7 is next. And if it gets over 7, it's going to the moon, man. Good luck and God bless and have fun. I was looking at Colt 2 last cycle. Yeah, I mean, dude, but like how many charts look like this? I mean, dude, even Pitbull, man. Even Pitbull is coming back from the dead. Bruv, if the coin, I think if the coin is popular, it's going to go back up. And I'm holding coins that look exactly like this. I think I have a chance, man. I abandoned the play to rotate a bit. There's no rotation for me. Like, once my coins hit, I'm getting out. I'm done. So it's it. I had to call the audible. Didn't work. I had to call the audible, fool. Someone capitulated last night that held for 3 years. I had a dream last night about it. That's how much it affected me. Bruv, I'm just trying to make you understand what you're doing. Like, you sold and then you withdrew the money. Like, it's none of my business. It's none of my business what you do with your money, but bro, you held it for 4 years, man. And now you're gonna sell right before we're about to go up. Like, yo, you could have even sold here. You're selling right before we go up, bro. Oh, I wish you the best, man. Ah, son of a biscuit. Dizzle Knob for 5 says, look into INV. I appreciate the 5. That's awesome. INV is still getting rejected at the 236. So you can see from the high to the low, the 236 is $53. Once you get over that, it should be bullish up to 88. And once it gets over 88, we'll say bull run to $300. But as long as it's below $52, it's not bullish. You can see some type of accumulation is going on, which is probably going to continue. And I would say once it gets through 53 on a daily candle close, which you can see it has not done that ever since March of last year. But the bottom wasn't in yet, so you can't use that. I would say daily close over 53 would send you up to 85. As long as you're below that, it's still getting accumulated, and the bull run begins over $88. Woo! No more super chats, fools. I'm done. GME coin sucks, fool. Yeah, so what's going on with Hex? They said it's a scam. Start a poll. All right. So if you guys came to the live stream late today, I recommend watching the first like 10 or 20 minutes. Well, once I start talking, because we kind of sat here and dicked around for a little bit. But once I start talking, go back and watch the beginning of the live stream because it's very important. All right. But I would say, yeah, I would say there's no rotation for Big Tone. I'm just going to have to hold all the way through. But I'm okay with that. Like, if my coins all went back up to their highs, I could not be happier. Like, you're always going to want more money, bro. If you get 1 million, you'll want 2 million. If you get 2 million, you'll want 5, then 10, then 20, then 40, and it's never going to end. It's greed. But I caught myself this time. So all I'm going to do is hold, and if my coins hit, they hit, and I'll see you guys never. I'll see you somewhere. I don't know. We'll do a voice chat. Do I think Nvidia's topping out? No, the stock market's going to be bullish probably for another at least 4 months. They need somebody to blame. The market has to stay up until the new president comes in, and then they're going to blame them. Jasmine sucks, he says. You should start putting super chat rules on your overlay. You'll probably have less problems. I actually, unlike you, I have control over my chat. So if the people send me money and they don't read, then I just say thanks for the super chat. And then if they say you missed me, I say no, I didn't read the chat. Then they send me more money. So it's reverse psychology, fool. No, I just made that up. Nah, but at this stage of the market, if somebody can't read, then I can't help them. So like it says no more requests. Everybody's aware that it says no more requests. If somebody sends me a super chat and says do my coin, I'm going to say thanks for playing, fool. Read the fine print. Same thing over and over. The market already knows. Yeah, dude, I hope we make it, man. I hope you're doing all right, dude. Not everyone is going to check a poll before sending a super chat. Well, Lord Narwhal, you're a smart guy, man. You know what natural selection is. That's the term I use now. Natural selection. You can't help everybody. You can't save everybody. So those who cannot be saved will not be saved. Or at least not by big tone. Do I look at the tether dominance? No, Alan, at this stage of the market cycle, we're actually at the point where once you get rich, just get out. Because I'm not falling in love with calling the top. So when my number gets called, I'm done. And I don't care if Bitcoin goes to 500K or wherever it goes. I'm already staying off of Twitter because the cesspool is going to start where people start calling tops here, tops there, bajillion different moving parts, tether dominance, you know, all that other stuff. And for me, it's very straightforward. When my number gets called, I sell and leave. Whereas last time it was like, oh, we got to find the top. We got to do this. We got to do that. I got to make a video. No. When my number gets called, I am saying bye. Thanks for everything. I'll see you guys on the other side. And all of the other YouTubers will get all of the viewers and they can have it because I don't want it. I'm leaving opportunity on the table, yes, but I'm trading it for a guarantee to get out of crypto. Because when you're up here, some people get lost in the sauce, man. I got lost in the sauce and I paid the price. And I am not doing that again, Anon. I am not doing that again. I am not doing that again. I'm not going through that again. I'm all good. I'll survive. I'll be good once we make it, fool. I mean, I would imagine Biden goes back up, right? Like, how could it not? If Trump is like, isn't Trump, it's getting cooked again.
Don't get caught in the uninsured current. Get protected with Progressive today. America's #1 boat insurer with basic liability policies as low as $100 per year. Quote now.
Welcome to the Nether region. From its bushy jungles to its pristine rolling hills and magnificent volcanic peak. With the Wall Manscaper Safe Touch Blade and Wraparound Guard, confidently navigate every inch of the glorious Nether region, snag-free. Can't wait to see you down there. Safe travels, my friend. Protect your precious cargo with a full range of Wall Manscaper products.
Yeah, it just got cooked again, bruv. Damn, I might actually buy in. Oh, I don't have any. Oh, that's a tough call. Bro, why is this thing getting cooked so hard? Well, I guess the reality is it did do like a 600x. Yeah, 400x. So, you know. But I would have to, it's only a 4 million market cap. If Trump, what is Trump at? Wow, Trump is still pushing. Yeah, nah, dude, Trump is 100 times more valuable than Biden, bruv. Damn, I wish I had money on ETH. Ah, I just took all my money off of ETH too, man. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm done clicking buttons, bro. I can't buy every coin. I can't. I can't buy every coin, bruv. Good luck, Anon. Super Trump is the new MAGA. Did they make another Trump? Super Trump. Oh, they did. Yeah. Yeah. They actually made another Trump coin, fool. Everybody pile in. Not financial advice. LTC stronger than Doge. Chris, do you know that Doge is up like 4x from the bottom, right? And Litecoin is barely up 2x. Come on, come on, Chris. Chris is feeling the hopium. His Litecoin pumped by 5%, and now he's a moon boy. The ETH gas fees are stupid high. Yeah, pretty soon people are gonna get priced out. I mean, shit, even I might get priced out. I only have like $200 in my wallet. But I'm hoping one of my coins hit on another chain so I can rotate. Because I only have, I don't know how many coins I have on ETH, but... Where do we stand at the end of April? It's a good question, Anon. I have no idea. Anyway, have an issue withdrawing from Gemini? I have no idea. I never used it before. Yeah, wow, Super Trump. I guess wow, we're really starting to move up, boys. This is it. I just have to be patient, that's all. I just have to be patient. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure yapping for 12 years with you guys, man. But the only thing I can say is when your number gets called, don't be foolish. It's clear as day where we are. They're shrinking, gentlemen. It's literally getting smaller, so I don't know where the top is. But when your number gets called, just pull the trigger. Not financial advice. There's going to be people making these predictions, this, that, the other thing. What does that guy say in Wolf of Wall Street? It's a wee, it's a whizzy, it's a woozy, it's fairy dust. It's fairy dust. Do you have any knowledge on Xmon? I have no idea. The yapping has to come to an end. Time to enjoy the beach. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta find out what I'm gonna do with YouTube. I think I'm just gonna do vlogs, but like, what am I supposed to vlog about? Dogecoin? Or maybe I'm thinking I'll make Bitcoin videos. Maybe I'll make Bitcoin videos for the YouTube members. I think that's what I might do. Because if I hit my goals financially, then I guess I'd have to sell out, right? And just make Bitcoin videos for the Moon Boys. I don't know. I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't even know how much money I'm going to get. Who knows, right? I guess I'll worry about it when the time is up. But if I hit the number I'm looking for, I don't know, you know? Like, I feel like the other YouTubers, they want to be here because they enjoy it. I don't know if I can do that still. Especially knowing that the views are going to drop off and everybody's going to be miserable again. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Tough call. Cannot wait for my number to get hit. Yeah, I hope mine gets hit, dude. I hope it gets hit. You'll do breakfast food endorsements. XRP Riddler transformation. Yeah, I'm hope maybe. Maybe I'll have to make. Yeah, but like I can't lie to you. That's the problem. Like it's one thing about it's one thing about having an opinion and being wrong, but it's another thing to genuinely straight up lie and say that XRP is going to be the bank currency. Like I just can't do that, bro. And then when I like, I just can't. So like how do you just say everything's going to zero? Like if I start making vlogs in 2025, how do I tell you guys everything's going to zero? Like, I guess that's what I have to do, right? Get out now. No, but get out, fool. I don't know what to say. Not financial advice. .com crash coming. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll have to turn in... yeah, I'll have to turn into one of the boneheads. .com crash coming. Echo bubble popped. Get out. Not financial advice. Yeah, maybe I could do that. And then I could turn into a prick and say, oh, you want to be like me and drive around in a Corvette? You got to subscribe to my premium membership. I guess that's what they do, bruv. All these idiots think they're like, it is what it is, bruv. I don't know what I'm going to do. I see from Cleveland for 5 says, make a poll on who will take over for all of us left in the poorhouse once you're rich. First of all, bruv, we're all getting rich together, Anon. There's nobody taking over, bruv. Super Trump topped out, fool. Ripped everyone who bought in. Somebody said Turbo was ripping. Wow, Nanan Goyen is going to be rich, Anon. He really got an 80x on Sol Ordi, and he sold the top, dude. If I got an 80x from today, yeah, dude, it's not even possible. I would shit my pants. Come on, fool, join the jabronis. Subscribe to my premium membership to find out how to get rich like me. Nah, but like, dude, I feel like I'm too old for that. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been fun if I would have pulled it off last bull run. But like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I just feel like the way that people act, it's like, I feel like once you get past a certain age, isn't it supposed to go away? But in today's generation, it's like 30's the new 20 and 40's the new 30. Like even my cousins are like getting closer to 40. I mean, I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like the way some people act, it's like, how old are you, bruv? And not that it really matters, but I just feel like being a jabroni on YouTube, like, screaming at the top of my lungs, like flexing, right? Quote unquote flexing. It would have been acceptable if I would have pulled it off last time. But I feel like I'm getting too old for that now. Kind of like on to the next chapter of life now. That's why I don't get how these other YouTubers are still here. Like maybe they really love crypto, but I don't get how this is fun staring at the chart go sideways. But we had to do it because we're broke. But now hopefully we won't be broke anymore. So the question is, do you still want to do this? And I can't say the answer is yes, man. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out, Anon. It's done, bro. At a certain age, it could be fun, but people are just trolls now. I mean, everything's a troll. Everybody's a troll now. It's getting bad. But you can't make content that it drains you too much. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you have to be passionate about it, and I can't. I mean, I can't say. I don't know. Maybe if I have a bunch of money in the bank, I'll feel differently about crypto, and I'll say, yeah, crypto's fun. But like I said, the thing is, like, we know, like, there's 500 viewers in here right now. I did not have 500 viewers one time in 2023 because it was miserable. So like, if we know that that's coming, it's kind of like, do you want to do this? And I don't know. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. It makes no sense. They're millionaires already too, and they still play a character. It's brain damage. Yeah, maybe if I make a character, maybe I have to make a character, bruv. I'm thinking about it. Like if I put all of my videos on like hidden, so you can't see them. So to you, it looks like I have no videos, but to me, I can still see everything. And then I'll make a character, like the Eggman, the Egghead, the Egg Monster, and I'll just play a character. Oh, we're going to zero, mighty. Fires a cannon. Fires a bear cannon. We're going to zero, boys. And it'll be so ridiculous, but I'll be right. Yo, maybe I should do that. The crash is coming anon. Prepare the battleship. Prepare the battleship. Prepare the bunker. Prepare the bunker. The bears are attacking anon. Maybe I'll have to do that, and I'll just eat food on live stream. Welcome to the Bear Bunker Fools. I'm your host, the Bald Man. Today we'll be talking about the Bitcoin going to zero. How about all your evening YouTube walks last year? Yeah, it's freezing outside, bro. I'm not walking outside. I wore shorts today to go to the gym, and I had to run from my car to the building because I thought I was gonna blow away. It was freezing outside. There's no vlogs outside, fool. And we're supposed to go way higher. I mean, listen, some people, when you have money, though, you can do what you want. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, dude. Maybe I'll get like a World War II outfit, and I'll just be like the bears are attacking anon. I guess I could play a character. That would be pretty cool, man. Maybe I will play a character. The Bald Man. The Bald General. The Ring General. The Bald. Or maybe my name will be The Bald Bear. Welcome to the Bear Show.
Just wait.
Smithfield marinated pork. So many flavors, if you can't decide, we get it.
I'm gonna go for the pork.
Yeah, good choice.
ShareGate, your one-stop shop for managing Microsoft 365 with more peace of mind than the Dalai Lama himself. Migration? Yeah, we got you. Restructuring and cleaning your tenant in minutes? We got you. Or simply needing more control of your environment? Hey, whatever your battle is, we'll say it again. We got you. ShareGate takes care of your Microsoft 365 needs for today and tomorrow with an all-in-one management solution at one fixed price. Simple as that. Let's level up your Microsoft 365 game and win. ShareGate. Try ShareGate for free with our 15-day trial.
Are you guys making money? At least you're having fun, right? Nah, it's just annoying. It's not annoying, but it's like, because in your messed up brain damaged head, you live in a fantasy where you sell the exact top and then rotate. But like, it doesn't work that way, Anon. I just have to sit tight and be patient. I'm selling 5 pizzas for BTC. Did I tell you guys about the pizza that I had? It was disgusting. It was like floppy and it was raw. It was, oh yeah, I told you yesterday. Oh no, we're not talking about food. Next topic. That means it's time to end the live stream. Yeah, when we start talking jabroni nonsense, that means the stream is done. Go to Veli Portabella says Elon just posted Smiley token on Twitter. Oh wait, Smiley, wasn't that already a coin that did like a 100x? Yeah, but it's not doing anything. Yeah, wasn't Smiley already one of those coins that ran? Yeah, it already did. Oh my god. Bro, couldn't be me. I will never get one of those moves, bruv. But I accept that now. Like, I don't chase it anymore. It is what it is. Appreciate the 2. Tim Thaw for 5 says you're wrong. I know I speak for many when I say that you kept us hoping and sane during the bear market these last 4 years. Yeah, but it was horrible, bruv. We were all miserable. And there was like 70 of us. So the question is, if you have millions of dollars in the bank, do you want to sit in front of a screen, rotting away, going down in the shadow realm? when the ad revenue is going to decline, the viewerships are going to decline, the portfolios are going to decline. We did it last time. Well, at least I could speak for myself because I was poor. I still am poor, but I have a little bit more money than I did last time. So if I get to where I need to go, do I want to do that again at the age that I'm at? If I have all that money in the bank, and I don't see myself doing it. That's what I'm saying. You know? Elon did not post a token, Kevin. I'm up 5K today, but this is only the beginning, I guess. Yeah, it is just the beginning, Anon. Some coins didn't even start moving yet. But I'm telling you, this chart that we have, I think is going to play out. We're right there. We are literally right there. Dude, we're getting... Oh, man, we're getting close, boys. I would say when this chart breaks out, we're going up. Like, up, up, up. Oh, Elon made a new high today. 40. All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. But I think this is the end of the live stream because I'm kind of just sitting here flapping my gums, saying a bunch of jabroni nonsense. So, yeah. Yeah, if you didn't see the Twitter post I made, check that out. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers by the end of tomorrow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that said, everything said in the live stream is just my opinion. It is just entertainment, nothing more. None of this is financial advice. You always have to do what's best for you. I appreciate all the support, all the subs, all the super chats. Are we at 52,000 subs yet? We might be. Hello? Can you hear me? Are we? Nope, we're still at 51.9. So, all right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, none of this is financial advice. You always have to do what's best for you. And go watch that Luna Classic video I made. Oh, join the Discord. That's what I wanted to say. In the description, there's 2 Discords. There's a Doge one and the one where you lose brain cells. Which is like shit coins and all the garbage. I really don't care that much if you join either of them, honestly. Like, I'm at the point now where I just want to get out of here. So if you want to join both servers, that's up to you. They're both there. Whichever one. The one that says Discord is the old one. Like the one that has a lot of people in it, and then the Doge one is the new one, which I already... Yo, if you're in the old Discord, I'm not tolerating that bullshit. If we get a lot of people in the new server and if you guys keep doing that bullshit, I'm just gonna kick you out. I don't care who you are. So, all right, gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys at 10K. None of this is financial advice, and have a blessed day.
Welcome to HyperAffirm. Let's see how it works. Here's an employee onboarding for the first time. In order to begin verification, the employee enters their email information using their smartphone. They receive a text message with a PIN in order to start the process. You can see that the employee's location is being recognized by HyperAffirm and a background check is being done. The green mark shows that the employee is logging in from their expected location. The employee's manager is now alerted and has joined a chat in the HyperAffirm app. While this is happening, the employee takes a picture of a government document which will be automatically inspected and verified for validity. The manager can view all of the information that a firm has collected on the new employee and has now been notified that the ID has come in appropriately. They use the chat feature to let the employee know it's time to do a video verification. The employer and employee open a video session, and once the manager is satisfied that all the ID checks have happened accordingly, they can attest that they are satisfied that the employee's identity is accurate. The employee now receives a magic link which they click on and can immediately start the pairing process and log on using Hyper, because their identity has been verified both automatically and by their manager. It's that simple, and that's secure.
The following is a conversation with Elon Musk, his fourth time on this, the Lex Friedman podcast. I thought you were going to finish it. It's one of the greatest themes in all of film history.
Yeah, that's great.
So I was just thinking about the Roman Empire, as one does.
There's that whole meme where old guys are thinking about the Roman Empire at least once a day.
And half the population is confused whether it's true or not. But more seriously, thinking about the wars going on in the world today. And as you know, war and military conquest has been a big part of Roman society and culture. And it, I think, has been a big part of most empires and dynasties throughout human history. So
yeah, they usually came as a result of conquest. I mean, there's some like the Austro-Hungarian Empire where there was just a lot of sort of clever marriages.
But fundamentally, there's an engine of conquest. And they celebrate
always.
excellence in warfare. Many of the leaders were excellent generals. Yeah. That kind of thing. So big picture question, Grok approved. I asked if this is a good question to ask.
Kid tested, Grok approved?
Yeah. At least on fun mode. To what degree do you think war is part of human nature versus a consequence of how human societies are structured? I ask this as you have somehow controversially been a proponent of peace.
I'm generally a proponent of peace. I mean, ignorance is perhaps, in my view, the real enemy to be countered. That's the real hard part, not, fighting other humans. But all creatures fight. I mean, the jungle is you look at people think of this nature as perhaps some sort of peaceful thing, but in fact it is not. There's some quite funny Werner Herzog thing where he's like in the jungle, like saying that it's like basically just murder and death in every direction. I mean, the plants and animals in the jungle are constantly trying to kill and eat each other every single day, every minute. So it's not like, we're unusual in that respect.
Well, there's a relevant question here, whether with greater intelligence comes greater control over these base instincts for violence.
Yes. We have much more of an ability to control our limbic instinct for violence than, say, a chimpanzee. And in fact, if one looks at, say, chimpanzee society, it is not friendly. I mean, the bonobos are an exception. But chimpanzee society is filled with violence, and it's quite horrific, frankly. That's our limbic system in action. Like, you don't want to be on the wrong side of a chimpanzee. It'll eat your face off and tear your nuts off.
Yeah, basically there's no limits or ethics or The Romans had just war. There's no just war in the in chimpanzee societies. Is war and dominance by any means necessary?
Yeah, chimpanzee society is like a primitive version of human society. They're not like peace loving, basically, at all. There's extreme violence, and then once in a while, somebody who's watched too many Disney movies decides to raise a chimpanzee as a pet, and then that eats their face or rips their nuts off or chews their fingers off, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's happened several times.
ripping your nuts off is an interesting strategy for interaction.
It's happened to people. It's unfortunate. Like that's, I guess, one way to ensure that the other chimp doesn't, contribute to the gene pool.
Well, from a martial arts perspective, it's a fascinating strategy.
the nut ripper.
I wonder which of the martial arts teaches that.
I think it's safe to say if somebody's got your nuts in their hands and has the option of ripping them off, you will be amenable to whatever they want.
Yeah, safe to say. So, like I said, somehow controversially, you've been a proponent of peace on Twitter, on X.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about the wars going on today and to see what the path to peace could be. How do you hope the current war in Israel and Gaza comes to an end? What path do you see that can minimize human suffering in the long term in that part of the world?
Well, I think that part of the world is definitely like if you look up there is no easy answer in the dictionary. It'll be that like the picture of the Middle East, and Israel especially. So there is no easy answer. Or what this is strictly my opinion of, is that the goal of Hamas was to provoke an overreaction from Israel. They obviously did not expect to, have a military victory, but they really wanted to commit the worst atrocities that they could in order to provoke the most aggressive response possible from Israel, and then leverage that aggressive response to rally Muslims worldwide for the cause of Gaza and Palestine, which they have succeeded in doing. So the counterintuitive thing here, I think that the thing that I think should be done, even though it is very difficult, is that I would recommend that Israel engage in the most conspicuous acts of kindness possible. Everything. That is the actual thing that would thwart the goal of Hamas.
So, in some sense, the degree that makes sense in geopolitics, turn the other cheek, implemented.
It's not exactly turn the other cheek, because I do think that there's, I think it is appropriate for Israel to find the Hamas members and, either kill them or incarcerate them. Like that something has to be done because they're just going to keep coming otherwise. But in addition to that, they need to do whatever they can. There's some talk of establishing, for example, a mobile hospital. I'd recommend doing that. Just making sure that there's food, water, medical necessities, and just be over the top about it and be very transparent, so that people can't claim it's a trick. Like just put a webcam on the thing, all 24/7.
Deploy acts of kindness.
Yeah, conspicuous acts of kindness that are unequivocal, meaning they can't be somehow, because Hamas will then their response will be, oh, it's a trick. Therefore, you have to counter how is it not a trick.
This ultimately fights the broader force of hatred in the region.
Yes, and I'm not sure who said it. It's an apocryphal saying, but an eye for an eye makes everyone blind. Now that neck of the woods, they really believe in the whole eye for an eye thing. But I mean, you really have, if you're not going to just outright commit genocide, like against an entire people, which obviously would not be acceptable to really shouldn't be acceptable to anyone, then you're going to leave basically a lot of people alive who subsequently hate Israel. So really the question is like, how, for every Hamas member that you kill, how many did you create?
Mhm.
And if you create more than you killed, you've not succeeded. That's the real situation there. And it's safe to say that if um, if you kill somebody's child in Gaza, you've made at least a few uh, Hamas members who will die just to kill an Israeli. That's the situation. So, but I mean, this is one of the most contentious subjects one could possibly discuss. But I think if the goal ultimately is some sort of long-term peace, one has to look at this from the standpoint of, over time, are there more or fewer terrorists being created?
Let me just linger on war.
Yeah, well, war. It's safe to say wars always existed and always will exist.
Always will exist.
Always has existed and always will exist.
I hope not. You think it always will?
There will always be war. It's a question of just how much war, and what there's the sort of the scope and scale of war,
Mhm.
but to imagine that there would not be any war in the future, I think would be a very unlikely outcome.
Yeah, you talked about the culture series. There's war even there.
Yes, there's a giant war. The first book starts off with a gigantic galactic war where trillions die. Trillions.
But it still nevertheless protects these pockets of flourishing. Somehow you can have galactic war and still have pockets of flourishing.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I guess if we are able to one day expand to, fill the galaxy or whatever, there will be a galactic war at some point.
The scale. I mean, the scale of war has been increasing. It's like a race between the scale of suffering and the scale of flourishing.
Yes.
A lot of people seem to be using this tragedy to beat the drums of war and feed the military-industrial complex. Do you worry about this? The people who are rooting for escalation, and how can it be stopped?
One of the things that does concern me is that there are very few people alive today who actually viscerally understand the horrors of war, at least in the U.S. I mean, obviously there are people on the front lines in Ukraine and Russia who understand just how terrible war is. But how many people in the West understand it? My grandfather was in World War II. He was severely traumatized. He was there, I think, for almost 6 years in East and North Africa and Italy. All his friends were killed in front of him, and he would have died too, except they randomly gave some, I guess, IQ test or something, and he scored very high. Now, he was not an officer. He was, I think, a corporal or a sergeant or something like that, because he didn't finish high school. He had to drop out of high school because his dad died, and he had to work to support his siblings. So because he didn't graduate high school, he was not eligible for the officer corps. So, he kind of got put into the cannon fodder category, basically. But then, randomly, they gave him this test. He was transferred to British intelligence in London. That's where he met my grandmother. But he had PTSD next level, like next level. I mean, just didn't talk. And if you tried talking to him, he'd just tell you to shut up. And he won a bunch of medals. Never bragged about it once. Not even hinted. Nothing. I found out about it because his military records are online. That's how I know. So he would say like, no way in hell. Do you want to do that again? But how many people? Now he died, 20 years ago or longer, actually, 30 years ago. How many people are alive that remember World War II? Not many.
And the same perhaps applies to the threat of nuclear war.
Yeah, I mean, there are enough nuclear bombs pointed at the United States to make the radioactive rubble bounce many times.
There's two major wars going on right now. So you talked about the threat of AGI quite a bit, but now, as we sit here with the intensity of conflict going on, do you worry about nuclear war?
I think we shouldn't discount the possibility of nuclear war. It is a civilizational threat. Right now, I could be wrong, but I think the current probability of nuclear war is quite low. But there are a lot of nukes pointed at us. So, and we have a lot of nukes pointed at other people. They're still there. Nobody's put their guns away. The missiles are still in the silos.
And the leaders don't seem to be the ones with the nukes talking to each other.
No. There are wars which are tragic and difficult on a local basis, and then there are wars which are civilization ending or have that potential. Obviously, global thermonuclear warfare has high potential to end civilization, perhaps permanently, but certainly, to severely wound and perhaps set back human progress by to the Stone Age or something. I don't know. Pretty bad. Probably scientists and engineers want to be super popular after that as well. They're like, you got us into this mess. So generally, I think we obviously want to prioritize civilizational risks over things that are painful and tragic on a local level, but not civilizational.
How do you hope the war in Ukraine comes to an end? And what's the path, once again, to minimizing human suffering there?
Well, I think that what is likely to happen, which is really pretty much the way it is that something very close to the current lines will be how a ceasefire or truce happens. But you just have a situation right now where whoever goes on the offensive will suffer casualties at several times the rate of whoever's on the defense. Because you've got defense in depth, you've got minefields, trenches, anti-tank defenses. Nobody has air superiority because the anti-aircraft missiles are really far better than the aircraft. Like, there are far more of them. And so neither side has air superiority. Tanks are basically death traps. Just slow moving, and they're not immune to anti-tank weapons. So you really just have long range artillery and infantry trenches. It's World War I all over again with drones. Throwing little drones, some drones there,
which makes the long range artillery just that much more accurate and better, and so more efficient at murdering people on both sides.
Yeah. So it's whoever is, you don't want to be trying to advance from either side, because the probability of dying is incredibly high. So in order to overcome defense in depth trenches and minefields, you really need significant local superiority in numbers. Ideally combined arms, where you do a fast attack with aircraft, a concentrated number of tanks, and a lot of people. That's the only way you're going to punch through a line. And then you're going to punch through and then not have reinforcements just kick you right out again. I mean, I really recommend people read World War I warfare in detail. It's rough. I mean, the sheer number of people that died there was mind-boggling.
And it's almost impossible to imagine the end of it that doesn't look like almost exactly like the beginning, in terms of what land belongs to who and so on. But on the other side of a lot of human suffering, death,
yes,
and destruction of infrastructure.
Yes. I mean, the thing that, the reason I proposed some sort of truce or peace a year ago was because I predicted pretty much exactly what would happen, which is a lot of people dying for basically almost no changes in land, and the loss of the flower of Ukrainian and Russian youth. And we should have some sympathy for the the Russian boys as well as the Ukrainian boys, because the Russian boys didn't ask to be on their front line; they have to be. So there's a lot of sons not coming back to their parents, and I think most of them don't really they don't hate the other side. It's sort of like, as this saying about, like this saying comes from World War I. It's like young boys who don't know each other killing each other on behalf of old men that do know each other. The hell's the point of that?
So Volodymyr Zelensky said that he's not, or has said in the past, he's not interested in talking to Putin directly. Do you think he should sit down, man to man, leader to leader, and negotiate peace?
Look, I think I would just recommend do not send the flower of Ukrainian youth to die in trenches. Whether he talks to Putin or not, just don't do that. Whoever goes on the offensive will lose massive numbers of people. And history will not look kindly upon them.
You've spoken honestly about the possibility of war between U.S. and China in the long term, if no diplomatic solution is found. For example, on the question of Taiwan and one China policy.
Right.
How do we avoid the trajectory where these two superpowers clash?
Well, it's worth reading that book on the difficult to pronounce Thucydides trap, I believe it's called. I love war history. I like inside out and backwards. There's hardly a battle I haven't read about. And trying to figure out, like, what really was the cause of victory in any particular case, as opposed to what one side or another claimed was the reason.
Both the victory and what sparked the war. And
yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah. So that Athens and Sparta is a classic case. The thing about the Greeks is they really wrote down a lot of stuff. They loved writing.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of interesting things that happened in many parts of the world, but people just didn't write down. Mm-hmm. So we don't know what happened, or they didn't really write in detail. They just would say, like, we had a battle and we won. And like, well, what? Can you add a bit more? The Greeks, they really wrote a lot. They were very articulate on it. They just love writing. So, and we have a bunch of that writing that's preserved. So we know what led up to the Peloponnesian War between the Spartan and Athenian alliance. And we know that they saw it coming. I mean, the Spartans didn't write. They also weren't very verbose by their nature, but they did write. But they weren't very verbose. They were terse. But the Athenians and the other Greeks wrote a lot, and they were like, and Sparta was really kind of like the leader of Greece. But Athens grew stronger and stronger with each passing year, and everyone's like, well, that's inevitable that there's going to be a clash between Athens and Sparta. Well, how do we avoid that? And they couldn't. They saw it coming, and they still could not avoid it. So, at some point, if one group, one civilization or country or whatever exceeds another, sort of like if the United States has been the biggest kid on the block since I think around 1890 from an economic standpoint. So the United States has been the most powerful economic engine in the world longer than anyone's been alive. And the foundation of war is economics. So now we have a situation in the case of China where the economy is likely to be 2, perhaps 3 times larger than that of the U.S. So imagine you're the biggest kid on the block for as long as anyone can remember, and suddenly a kid comes along who's twice your size.
So we see it coming.
Yeah.
How is it possible to stop? Is there let me throw something out there, just intermixing of cultures, understanding. There does seem to be a giant cultural gap in understanding of each other. And you're an interesting case study because you are an American, obviously. You've done a lot of incredible manufacture here in the United States, but you also work with China.
I've spent a lot of time in China and met with the leadership many times.
Maybe a good question to ask is, what are some things about China that people don't understand, positive, just in the culture? What's some interesting things that you've learned about the Chinese?
Well, the sheer number of really smart, hardworking people in China is incredible. There are really, if you say like how many smart, hardworking people are there in China? There's far more of them there than there are here. I think, in my opinion. And they've got a lot of energy. So, I mean, the architecture in China that's in recent years is far more impressive than the U.S. I mean, the train stations, the buildings, the high-speed rail, everything. It's really far more impressive than what we have in the U.S. I mean, I recommend somebody just go to Shanghai and Beijing, look at the buildings, and go to, take the train from Beijing to Xi'an, where you have the terracotta warriors. China's got an incredible history, very long history, and I think arguably in terms of the use of language from a written standpoint, sort of one of the oldest, perhaps the oldest written language, and in China people did write things down. So now China historically has always been, with rare exception, been internally focused. They have not been acquisitive. They've fought each other. There have been many civil wars. In the Three Kingdoms War, I believe they lost about 70% of their population. So they've had brutal internal wars, like civil wars that make the U.S. Civil War look small by comparison. So I think it's important to appreciate that China is not monolithic. We sort of think of like China as a sort of one entity of one mind, and this is definitely not the case. From what I've seen, and I think most people who understand China would agree, that people in China think about China 10 times more than they think about anything outside of China. So it's like 90% of their consideration is internal.
Well, isn't that a really positive thing when you're talking about the collaboration and a future peace between superpowers? When you're inward facing, which is like focusing on improving yourself versus focusing on, quote unquote, improving others through military might.
The good news, the history of China suggests that China is not acquisitive, meaning they're not going to go out and invade a whole bunch of countries. Now they do feel very strongly, so that's good. I mean, because a lot of very powerful countries have been acquisitive. The U.S. is also one of the rare cases that has not been acquisitive. Like after World War II, the U.S. could have basically taken over the world and any country. Like we got nukes, nobody else got nukes. We don't even have to lose soldiers. Which country do you want? And the United States could have taken over everything. At will, and it didn't. And the United States actually helped rebuild countries. So it helped rebuild Europe, helped rebuild Japan. This is very unusual behavior, almost unprecedented. The U.S. did conspicuous acts of kindness, like the Berlin airlift. And I think, it's always like, well, America's done bad things. Well, of course, America's done bad things, but one needs to look at the whole track record. And just generally, one sort of test would be, how do you treat your prisoners of war? Or let's say, no offense to the Russians, but let's say you're in Germany. It's 1945. You got the Russian army coming on one side. You got the French, British, and American armies coming on the other side. Who would you like to surrender to? Like, no country is like morally perfect, but I recommend being a POW with the Americans. That would be my choice very strongly.
In the full menu of POW.
Very much so. And in fact, Wernher von Braun took, a smart guy, was like, we've got to be captured by the Americans.
Yeah.
And in fact, the SS was under orders to execute von Braun and all of the German rocket engineers, and they narrowly escaped their SS. They said they were going out for a walk in the woods. They left in the middle of winter with no coats, and they ran and with no food, no coats, no water, and just ran like hell, and ran west. And by sheer luck, I think his brother found like a bicycle or something, and then just cycled west as fast as he could and found a U.S. patrol. So anyway, that's one way you can tell morality is where do you want to be a POW? It's not fun anywhere, but some places are much worse than others. So anyway, so I think America has been, while far from perfect, generally a benevolent force, and we should always be self-critical and we try to be better. But anyone with half a brain knows that. So I think there are, in this way, China and the United States are similar. Neither country has been acquisitive in a significant way. So that's like a shared principle, I guess. Now China does feel very strongly about Taiwan. They've been very clear about that for a long time. From their standpoint, it would be like one of the states is not there like Hawaii or something like that, but more significant than Hawaii. And Hawaii is pretty significant for us. So they view it as really that there's a fundamental part of China, the island of Formosa, not Taiwan, that is not part of China but should be. And the only reason that it hasn't been is because of the U.S. Pacific Fleet.
And as their economic power grows and as their military power grows, the thing that they're clearly saying is their interest will, clearly be materialized.
Yes. China has been very clear that they will incorporate Taiwan peacefully or militarily, but that they will incorporate it from their standpoint is 100% likely.
Something you said about conspicuous acts of kindness. As a geopolitical policy, it almost seems naive, but I'd venture to say that this is probably the path forward, how you avoid most wars. Just as you say it, it sounds naive, but it's kind of brilliant. If you believe in the goodness of underlying most of human nature, it just seems like conspicuous acts of kindness can reverberate through the populace of the countries involved. And de-escalate.
Absolutely. So, after World War I, they made a big mistake. They basically tried to lump all the blame on Germany, and saddled Germany with impossible reparations. Really there was quite a bit of blame to go around for World War One, but they try to put it all on Germany, that laid the seeds for World War II. So it's a lot of people, well, not just Hitler, a lot of people felt wronged, and they wanted vengeance, and they got it.
People don't forget.
Yeah. You kill somebody's father, mother, son, daughter, they're not going to forget it. They will want vengeance. So after World War II, they're like, well, the Treaty of Versailles was a huge mistake in World War One. And so this time, instead of crushing the losers, we're actually going to help them with the Marshall Plan, and we're going to help rebuild Germany. We're going to help rebuild Austria and the other, Italy and whatnot. So And that was the right move.
It does feel like there's a profound truth to conspicuous acts of kindness being an antidote to this.
Something must stop the cycle of reciprocal violence. Something must stop it, or it will, it'll never stop. Just eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, limb for a limb, life for a life, forever and ever.
To escape briefly the darkness with some incredible engineering work. XAI just released Grok AI assistant that I've gotten a chance to play with. It's amazing on many levels. First of all, it's amazing that a relatively small team in a relatively short amount of time was able to develop this close to state-of-the-art system. Another incredible thing is there's a regular mode and there's a fun mode.
Yeah, I guess I'm to blame for that one.
First of all, I wish everything in life had a fun mode.
Yeah.
There's something compelling beyond just fun about the fun mode, interacting with a large language model. I'm not sure exactly what it is because I've only had a little bit of time to